Your email channel is one of the most profitable sources of revenue you could ever have with your e-com or CPG brand. The question is, how do you make one? How do I make a design? What the process looks like? And what are the steps I should take when making my email design? Well, in this video, I'm going to take you through my entire process of making an email design for an e-com and CPG brand, the process, the design, and the actual end result of what it should look like. My name is Alex with IX Media. We help CPG and e-com brands scale their business using email marketing. Proofs in the pudding. You can check out our website and all the information down in the description. Anyways, let's get to the video. Alright, so yeah, let's take you through the process of making your first email template design. So listen, the first step I ever do whenever creating an email is far and foremost the most important. It's finding the inspiration, right? Listen, big brands, they have millions of dollars to spend on marketing teams, right? They have the money to actually put in, a lot of money to get somebody that's been doing email designs and email work for probably since before I was born. So listen, if it ain't broke, I'll work with what you got. And listen, there's a bunch of different ways you could do it. You could go to Mild.com. You could go to Really Good Emails. Those are some platforms that you could obviously get some inspiration from. They have really cool email designs. But also another cool thing you could do is just subscribe to email brands or just to brands that are similar to your branding style. So let's just say, for example, you have like something similar to Olipop. You could sign up to Olipop and say like, okay, let me receive their type of emails, and then it's going to help you a lot of the times to get inspiration from a brand that already matches your brand stylistically wise. So that's the first thing, right? Find inspiration. In this case, I'm already using another email template that I actually made personally, but even then, like, that email template was copied from another email, so I take inspiration from everywhere. But yeah, so in this case, obviously I'm using Juan. Please go check him out there. Shout out Noah. By the way, if you're watching this, Noah, this is how we make your emails, man. So but aside from that, you want to make sure that you find inspiration, and really just make sure that you get everything in point that's similar with your brand. The next thing I would do is finding your topic. Now listen, this is I'm gonna be honest, this isn't really the most difficult part, especially as you're making the email. What happens a lot of the times, and this happens with me personally, is I'll be in the process of making an email, and then like a quarter of the way in, I'll be like, wow, this is like a really good email to do like for a subscription base or for a valuetainment email, for an edutainment email, and something just clicks based on something that I see. So for example, like in this email, I already knew kind of before making this video, because I wanted to make sure it was good for you guys. But if I wasn't, if I was going off script and everything, I was like, just making this from scratch and didn't really have any direction to go with, I could have easily been like, okay, this would be a really good email to mix well with CPG brands combined with like an actual physical store. So as you could see, this and by the way, yes, Jesus is your Lord and Savior. Just pay attention to what I just showed and pointed there. He died on the cross. But aside from that, yeah, so the next thing I was saying, so like with the NYC logo on the Juan Please, that symbolizes that a lot of the places we're going to be in are stores nationwide, or at least in NYC. That's why I put that specific logo. But yeah, I mean, you usually at 20, 30, 40% of the way into making emails, you're already like, okay, this is a good idea I could make, let me execute on this. And again, it's not really that hard. You don't have to come in with the mindset of like, okay, I actually have to make it this type of topic, this type of topic, this type of topic. Just let it flow. It's a dance. Just whatever it is, let it be. So again, when you're making those emails, just go with the flow, and then eventually, I guarantee you that once you're in the actual process of designing the email, you're gonna be like, okay, this email would work really well for this and that. So that's step 2. Now, by the way, I was just letting you know, if you're a single owner of a brand and you don't have the time to make these emails on your yourself, or you just want to get somebody with more, I guess you would say, like expertise, or you want some more personalized help, feel free to reach out to my team, ixmedia.biz. We help CPG and e-com brands scale their business with their email marketing on a 100% commission base. Link is in the description, ixmedia.biz. All the info is down there. Just go check it out. Anyways, moving on to the third step is filling in the meat. So obviously, like here you could see me start, kind of going into the actual copy and everything. In this case, like as I mentioned, like I already had an email design ready for this, so I kind of just copy pasted from that. But as I mentioned, like, so obviously you're gonna find your topic, and then you get inspiration, so you start building out your email. Once you find your topic, once you understand like, okay, this is the direction I'm gonna go. Let's just say, for example, it's a valuetainment email, right? So this time you're gonna put some 5 things you didn't know about how cake is, or 5 things you didn't know about the cake industry, right, or the baking industry, right? You could do that. Then this is where you actually fill in the meat, right? And a lot of the times, I think a lot of people get over anxious with this, and they're like, man, I want to make sure I get the best styles and the best wordings, and I get the best information. And although it's a good, you're actually putting stuff out there that's real and valuable, just go to ChatGPT. A lot of the times especially if you want to make sure that it's coherent, right? I think is the word. A lot of the times ChatGPT is the perfect place to go with it. Just search up like, hey, give me literally five facts I wouldn't have known about the chocolate industry, and just go in there and check everything out. And by the way, one quick little thing I think a lot of big brands miss out on, or even new brands especially, I'll say that new brands, is filling up their email with a lot of excess stuff. And what I mean by that is, for this type of one, obviously you could see I have like 1 year free shipping, 10,000 happy customers, this and that. But it's very much bullet points, right? In the right side, I do want to have a little bit more of a description, but even then, it's only like 1 or 2 sentences. But if you're making your own email, just have bullet points. It shouldn't be that many words. Honestly, it should be like less than 100 words per email, especially if it's a design-based email. And it should just be very, very bullet point oriented. This is a perfect example of it. I just have 1, 2, 3 bullet points pretty much, and then like to the right I have a little description. Sometimes you don't even need a description. Right, honestly, you could just have 1 year free shipping, bullet point 1, 10,000 happy customers, bullet point 2, and so forth and so on. So just one thing I would highly suggest whenever making your own emails is just have very clear and coherent bullet points. That's not the hardest part about making these emails, funny enough, but yeah, just make sure you don't overcomplicate everything, and you're just gonna get straight to the point. So the fourth and final step is review and revise. Listen, this is the hardest part, right? Which in your mind is probably like, oh, this is the easiest part. Trust me, when you are up late, 2 a.m. designing emails, your brain is fried and you're gonna miss out on a lot of things. So I'll give you a couple quick ways to kind of solve this. One, obviously, the most simple is just go back and review everything, if you still have a functioning brain at this point. But obviously, just once you make your email, go get a sandwich or something, come back with it, and once you have like a fresh set of eyes, then or a pair of eyes, then you could obviously review the whole email. Another way is obviously going to ChatGPT. This is probably the most, I would say, correct way, because obviously it's going to check everything. Just make sure that a lot of the grammar mistakes, like it'll say like, oh, you put YA instead of you, right? But if that's part of your brand, like let's just say, oh, we don't want to leave ya hanging, for example, and obviously it spells checks that, you don't want to just copy paste that. You want to make sure that it's in line with your brand. Just a quick little thing. And a little pro tip I would highly suggest, and this is like actually one of the biggest things I found out, is sending it to a friend, right? Depending on your ESP, most of the times you could send yourself a preview of your email, so you could just upload it to Klaviyo and then just check it out. But what I would do is just set a preview to either you or to either a friend or family member, that's somebody that isn't really into email marketing, and just ask them like, hey, listen, all I want you to do is just let me know anything that doesn't make sense to you or isn't very coherent. And the reason why that's so special is because when you're making your emails, you understand everything going behind it. So you understand like, okay, this is why I put a certain word in, this is why I put a certain word in, this is why I put a certain word in, or even certain descriptions of everything. And to you it might make sense because you know the brand and you know everything, but sometimes that could actually be kind of like going against you, because if you're in it so much, you're kind of be losing sight of like, okay, what if somebody that never heard of this brand, never knows anything about this, is reading this for the first time? They're going to be a little confused about like, oh man, what did he mean when he said this? What did he mean when he said that? So that's why going to a friend and saying like, hey, listen man, can you just review it? If you don't understand anything, be very critical about it. That's very important. Be honest about it. Just let me know. And then from that point, you'll be able to say like, okay, this is the this is the process. I now understand like, okay, maybe this part isn't as clear to first time customers. This part of the section didn't make sense. These bullet points are a little too much, and just go ask them, right? So again, the fourth and final step is just obviously review and revise. And yeah, so just taking you through the whole thing again. The first one is finding inspiration. Go to Mill.com, really good emails, or even a brand that you're subscribed to. Go through everything, find an email that you like, and more than anything that you like, and then from there you could obviously move on to step 2, which is finding your topic, right? Finding your topic, and this, a lot of the times, this is when you're actually making the email, going into everything, and then you're like, okay, this email, the way stylistically it's going, this would do really, really well if it was an XYZ email, or if it was a value email, or education email, or just an entertainment email. So yeah, that's step 2. Find your topic, find what you're going to talk about. Step 3 obviously is actually filling in the meat. Okay, now I know the topic I'm going to talk about. Go to ChatGPT, or just you go with the old school way, YouTube, or yeah, I just see the video, YouTube, or read a good old book and just find in some valuable information information you can put in. Pro tip, go to ChatGPT, just copy paste it, and then you make sure everything's in line with your brand, and you go from there. Anyways, that is the third step. And then the fourth step is obviously review and revise everything. Make sure that you get a fresh pair of eyes to kind of review everything, make sure that's coherent, concise, and there you go. That is the email, just kind of putting the finishing touches on there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know we went through a lot, but that should give you a rough draft of like my process of creating email designs for e-com and CPG brands. And Noah, if you're watching this, yeah, that's how we make your emails. So listen, hope everybody's having an amazing day. Hope God blesses you in every way. And yeah, Alexander Jimenez signing out. Peace.